Hello all, thanks for joining the session on Introduction to DevOps. So small disclaimer, the content of the presentation is purely from my personal experience and knowledge acquired over the years and is not representing any company that I work for. The agenda of the meeting is a brief introduction about myself, uh, a workflow of Waterfall model, Agile model, DevOps background, DevOps Phases, DevOps Tools, Process, DevOps Advantages, DevOps Roadmap, DevOps effects on key performance indicators of business. Who am I? I'm a DevOps subject matter expert. I have around 10 years of work experience in IT industry. I'm the vice president of American Association of IT Professionals. I've cleared AWS DevOps Pro, CK, and CCAT certifications. Let's discuss about background of waterfall model. Waterfall model is a traditional approach of software development. In waterfall model development happens in a step-by-step manner. There are typically 5 phases in waterfall model: requirement analysis, design, development, testing, and maintenance. During the requirement analysis phase, the requirements were collected from the business. During the design phase, application gets architected. During development phase, application gets coded. And once all the application development is done, the application goes through different kinds of testing, and unit integration, regression, performance, and load testing, and other kinds of tests. And once all the testing is done, the application gets deployed to production and is deployed to maintenance, and the maintenance begins. The disadvantages of waterfall model are any new requirements from the client will restart the entire development cycle. Until the requirements are not clear, the project cannot start and is eventually delayed. If the client is unhappy with the product, the entire project lifecycle is restarted. The workflow of Agile model is get the requirements documented in a backlog. The sprint planning happens to divide the requirements across sprints. During each sprint, planning, coding, testing, reviewing happens in a continuous process. And after each sprint retrospection happens, and the product gets delivered in the end, and it goes to product review. The advantages and disadvantages of agile model are: the advantages are client requirements are better understood because of constant feedback. Product is delivered much faster as compared to waterfall model. The disadvantages on the downside are the product gets tested only on the developer computers and not on the production systems. Developers and operation systems work on silos. Let's discuss how DevOps evolved over the time. In 2007, Patrick DeBois begins learning about IT in different perspectives, and he gets frustrated with the existing projects and the methodologies. And in 2008, DeBois meets Andrew Scheffer in an Agile conference in Toronto, and they discuss about different kinds of problems in and in the Agile methodology, and they come up with a concept called DevOps. In 2009, the first DevOps Day conference happens in Belgium. In 2010, the first DevOps Day conference happens in US. In 2012, the first State of DevOps report gets released. In 2014, the first annual State of DevOps report is released. In 2013, the Phoenix project releases, and which is considered as a major milestone in uh, DevOps. In 2016, Gartner predicts DevOps will transform into a mainstream strategy from a niche strategy. In 2017, the first research calls the year as the year of DevOps. In 2018, up to 30 days, DevOps Days conference are scheduled across US. In 2019, Gartner reports infrastructure and operation leaders are still making initiatives regarding DevOps. So what is DevOps? DevOps is an evolution of from agile model of software development. Operations teams will monitor the application and provide relevant feedback to the developers, hence addressing the gap between developers and operations, hence adding the value to the customers. DevOps phases. According to DevOps practices, the workflow in software development and delivery is divided into 8 phases: planning, coding, building, testing, integrating, deploying, operating, and monitoring. So DevOps tools, the common DevOps tools that were used to implement the DevOps process are Git and Bitbucket can be used for version controlling. Jira and Remini can be used for planning. Build tools like Maven, Gradle, Bazel, Ant can be used for testing. JUnit, Selenium, TestNG can be used for integration. Jenkins, Bamboo, CircleCI can be used for deployment. Configuration management tools like Chef, Puppet, Docker, Kubernetes for container orchestration system can be used. And for monitoring, tools like Splunk, Nagios, Datadog, Grafana, Prometheus can be used. Typically, there are around three kinds of DevOps process: continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. Continuous integration is all about planning, coding, building, testing, and uploading the artifact to the artifactory or container registry on the cloud or running in on-premise. So continuous delivery, it's all about deploying the application to the production environment with a manual approval. Continuous deployment is deploying the application even without a manual approval. So these are the three different kinds of DevOps processes typically we use as part of implementing DevOps. DevOps advantages: companies which follows DevOps release more products and features within a short amount of time. Time taken to create and deliver software is reduced. Complexity of maintaining an application is reduced. Hence, improved collaboration between developers and operation systems established. Continuous integration and delivery ensure faster time to the market. So you can see the common DevOps road for beginners to pick up their career in DevOps or someone who want to get familiar with DevOps. So these are the typical areas in DevOps, like infrastructure as a code, monitoring, logging, cloud computing, CI/CD, servers, server administration. So getting familiar with these tools help in implementing the DevOps process in the organization, help the business to scale more. So you can see the areas were divided across important criteria, like very important, important, and normal. So you can start with very important to start learning if someone is new into DevOps. So you can see the top cloud DevOps certifications are AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professional, Microsoft Certified DevOps Engineer Expert, Google Cloud Certified Cloud DevOps Engineer Professional. Among many other certifications, these are the top three cloud certifications. Let's discuss about the key performance indicators of business and how DevOps help in affecting these indicators. So operational efficiency, service quality, service velocity, organizational effectiveness, customer value, business performance, all of them are positively impacted by the DevOps process and hence enabling the business to scale more and get more profits in. So thank you so much for attending the session. Sorry for the initial glitch with the audio. Again, this is the beginning of many events around DevOps. In the upcoming events, we'll be covering more advanced concepts like GitOps, AIOps, cloud native setup, Kubernetes as we move forward. For latest updates, please subscribe to the AATP channel and follow it. Thank you so much again for attending the session.